Good evening, everyone.
You do
Welcome
everything,
to
huh?
a Town of Rockland Board of Sewer Commissioners meeting. This is Monday, March 2nd, 2026. The time is now 6:35 p.m. With a quorum being present, I will call the meeting to order, and I will also note that the meeting is being recorded. The meeting is being recorded for playback on WRPS. The first item on the agenda, after the call to order, we have the approval of the meeting minutes from January 12th, January 15th, and January 28th.
Except
2025.
I didn't finish 28, so you don't have that one. I only sent you the 12th and the 15th.
So we have January 12th and 15th. The meeting minutes for approval. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the 12th and the 15th.
There's a motion to approve the minutes of the 12th and 15th. I will step down in a second. All those in favor? Aye. That's a vote. Next on the agenda, we have an administrative update. Robin?
Alright, just finishing that one.
No problem, take it on.
I have a drain layer renewal. It's T King Excavation. It's a renewal. They sent in a complete packet with the payment. All of their insurance paperwork was in order. So it all looks good if you want to approve it. He's the only one I have tonight for that.
Hearing everything's in order, I'll take a motion.
A motion to approve the drain layer renewal.
For T King, there's a motion made. I'll step down in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right, that's a vote. Let's see. Abatement requests.
Alright, so the abatement requests. The first one, 214 Beach Street, is Douglas Billings. So I'm just getting myself reoriented with this. A strange thing happened. Mr. Billings called and said that he had made a Unibank payment previously and it wasn't reflected on his bill. I pulled out the Unipay for that day and he had dropped the last digit of his account. His account number is 6240.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped the digit, so it was 624. The address on the Unipay that we get from the collector's office said 90 Reed Street. That matched account 624.
Got it.
So when I talked to Mr. Billings about it, he said, I didn't put in 90 Reed. First of all, not right away did I connect it, but then I spoke to him again because I was concerned that it matched. And he said, I didn't put that address in, I put my own address in. I don't know why you couldn't figure out that I dropped a digit, it had my correct address on it. So then I called Judy's office because we didn't used to ever change the address.
Yep.
She told me they didn't, but her assistant said, no, we did change it. So effectively, they took away,
Reed Street.
right, they took away his address and put in the one that matched the incorrect
Okay.
account number. So we put it on the wrong account because the account number and the street address matched. So we couldn't identify the error because the collector's office changed the address. So she promised never to do that again, and I corrected his payment, but he originally wanted me to take the interest off.
Yeah.
Which I can only do that if it's our mistake, and initially I thought it wasn't our mistake, he put in the wrong account. So it was his mistake, the collector's office mistake, we couldn't catch it because they matched.
Yep.
We couldn't check the correct address or the correct account number because we didn't have them.
And had the collector's office not changed anything, you would have been able to apply the whole thing to his bill on Beach Street.
Right, we would have been able to figure it out. Okay. So he was looking to get the interest abated. So I talked to the superintendent because it was partly our fault. I mean, not our department, but our fault as a town.
Yep.
And we gave him back his interest, but we wanted to have that
another
discussion here.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
that's fine with me.
So what's come of it is Judy's office has said that they won't change the addresses anymore,
Okay.
but now they won't check anything. So what they used to give us was a spreadsheet that looked like this, one spreadsheet for the day with our payments on it. That's what it looked like. Now they send us a download that's a PDF, which is sometimes 13 pages for the day. It's water, sewer, and trash. And we have to go through it and find all the mistakes.
But they have an ability to run a report that's
Right, she
that's
could
really
just,
segregated, give it to you on an Excel sheet, help reconcile and everything else, but
Right.
that coming over in a PDF really doesn't do anything at that point.
she still gave it to us in a PDF, but it was a PDF of an Excel file, which was a lot cleaner. So instead of just continuing to give us that and not changing any of the information, she decided to give it to us in a way that's convoluted
Yeah, no,
and
that's,
messy. Yeah, it's not plain nice, but what I'd like to, what I would like to ask the board is, if you mind if I go to accounting and ask if I can just download our own. It's from Unibank, and I've done that before. You can't change any of the information in Unibank, you just download it. I know the water department has access to that
Mhm.
for Abington. I don't know if they've requested it for Rockland, and I know that the trash in Rockland has it, and they download their own spreadsheet, and they download it into Excel. I would like to be able to do that.
and like in just in terms of the process, by the time it gets to accounting, will those revenues have already been posted?
The way it works is, all the transactions
Yeah.
they close at midnight, and the
Okay.
next day you can download
Run,
the
okay.
transactions from the day before. That's what Judy's office does.
Okay. But if you're working with accounting and not the collector's office,
I won't be working with accounting. I
Okay,
have to
okay.
get permission from Scott in accounting.
okay, like to download it.
Yep.
Oh,
You
okay,
have the information yourself.
okay,
And I would basically
That
be
makes-
doing exactly what Judy's office is
Yep.
doing it in a format that's a lot easier for us to follow.
okay. So I would, just so like this is just my, this is just my thought. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Robin. Having a vote from the board, like also requesting that you have that access, I think is important, and it also says a lot about, our intent. I'm really not only backing you up, but really being sure that you're able on our behalf, to get the information that you need for our department as well. So, with that, I could entertain a motion to that the board that the board would contact the town accountant and request that that Robin be able to access the Unipay reports for the sewer department and be able to access and download them.
I make a motion that Robin have gain access, ask the town accountant for Robin to gain access to the Unipay system to be able to download reports and have access to them.
And I'll step down and second that. And all those in favor?
Aye.
And that's a vote. Yeah. And if it's agreeable to everyone, I don't have any issue on behalf of the department reaching out to Scott tomorrow. Asking and including all that's on that.
Okay, thank you
Is
so
that-
much.
Is that okay with you? Does that work?
Yeah, that would make it so much easier.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Robin.
The next abatement is Sullivan, 206 East Water Street. Their water heater failed, it leaked into the basement, the plumber siphoned it to outside the home, and she gave us an invoice, so it's all documented.
Okay.
If I brought her back to her regular usage, which was it doubled on her, we would be abating $81.36. So we billed her $186, we would take off 81, and we would be charging her $105.47.
Hearing as a motion to abate
A motion to abate
$81.
$81.60.
$81.36.
$81.36. I bet.
Sorry about that. For 206 East Water Street, hearing a motion, I will step down and second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's vote.
Thank you. And the last one is, okay, so this is a little bit different. This is 12 Linden Street. The town owned the property. They sold the property and they did not pass on the water and sewer charges to the new buyer, and they were requesting that water and sewer abate the amount. I think I gave you a copy of the bill.
Mm-hmm.
The amount is $590.55 for sewer. And I should mention that the water department voted on it, and they voted not to approve the abatement.
Okay. Yeah, like really, like my like initial kind of like reaction to this request is like we've really tried to like ensure like relating to abatements that we have a very consistent approach. Here to be able to keep with that approach, you know, like if it was any other property owner other than the town, like if there was a closing, and those these charges weren't really weren't paid at the closing. That's really not our issue. Like in going into that, chasing that issue down a rabbit hole, again, the town is a property owner the same way any other resident's a property owner, and I really don't want us as a board or department to go down a rabbit hole like getting involved in closing costs that weren't covered.
Agreed.
I really think that's a slippery slope.
I think we'd be consistent the entire time to treat the town of Rockland like it's an entity, which it is.
Yep.
Just like any other entity.
So with that, I would entertain a motion to not approve the abatement request for 12 Linden Street.
I will make the motion to not approve the 12 Linden Street abatement.
There's a motion made. I'll step down second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's a vote. We're gonna hold 40 Carey Street to the end, I think.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding.
You already got me once.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the 40 Carey Street.
Yes,
I believe we have the developer
yes.
here who we just met. Dave, do you wanna kind of give us an overview?
I can give you an
give him an
overview.
up.
So Jim's been working on that project for a few years now,
Yeah,
Jim, right?
yeah.
So, he came forward to the previous board,
Mhm.
was it two or 3 years ago, Jim? Right?
Yeah,
You have all the paperwork.
yeah,
He did a single family, which was, he used the existing sewer stub at that point. That was a knockdown, a demo. And he built that, and then he got approval on a duplex lot. At the same time, when he was doing the duplex lot, we asked that Mr. Wheeler do the third stub, so which he came over with a change of direction manhole onto the property by the contractor, so we could have all the road cuts done at the same time. And Mr. Wheeler did oblige, and he did add that 6-inch sewer stub into the system. So he met all our criteria on that, and I think you have some of the paperwork with you tonight too, Jim, right, from the
from what?
previous board, or?
No,
Okay.
no, we had a disagreement on that, and then I talked about, but I don't really care, let's just approve it again.
Yeah. So,
What it is the old people, the old board didn't follow up with it.
right,
So I never got the paperwork, but it did get approved, I know they don't remember, but it did get approved, but I never actually got the paperwork.
so there was some messy paperwork, to say the least.
Yeah,
Okay.
From the previous board.
so I just said,
for quick, who is they and they don't?
the old board.
Okay.
The old
Okay.
So
commissioners.
me and Robin and Dave talked, and we'll come in and just approve it again, and give me the new figure, what I owe,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll go from there. The only thing is, I'd like to pay it when pay the fee when we put the pipe in. Cause it's exorbitant, it's like $32,000.
Yeah, he has a previous balance with us, so the only thing I would ask is he would pay the, on the second building,
Yeah,
that would be paid for before before he starts the third lot.
That's more than fair, you'll get it well before that, because
Yeah.
I have it under agreement.
I think that would
It's
be
just-
fair to all parties at that point.
Yeah, but yeah, like, and based on what you just mentioned though, based on what you just mentioned, the stub for the third lot is already there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's talking about running it from the house.
His lateral to the next, building, so we, like I said, and Jim and I have talked about this, we would be looking to get the remainder balance on the second building once he closes on it.
Okay.
And then that would be, approvals for the third, but I think we would wanna be proactive, so he knows he could actually build the third lot at this point,
Yes.
where all the.
It,
And that gray area is really
Right.
holding that up at this point, correct?
what gray area?
Well,
No,
'cause
the
between the old
Yeah.
board and the new board.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry, that's what I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
well, yeah, our agreement was to pay it when I sold it, or before I sold it.
Yeah. Okay.
And, right now it's under agreement.
The third lot, or the second lot?
Second,
Th-
okay,
that-
second
So it's under agreement, and, they still have to, get it appraised. They've already done their inspection.
Okay,
They have to get it appraised and then get their commitment. Once they do that and we get close to the closing time, and there's no problem, I'll pay that bill.
The balance on the
The balance,
second
as
lot.
long as I know it's gonna close, as soon as I know it's gonna close, I'll pay you.
okay.
I have a question, what's going on the third lot that you're asking for approval on?
Well,
Retreat lot,
I don't know for sure, but I have,
Just a single family?
well, yeah, I just put a generic house in here that's, I don't know, it's like 30 by 50 or something like that. It won't be that big, but I just wanted to show that it fit in there.
Yeah, Jim, like, nothing really to do with you, I'm just really trying to, I'm trying to understand broader logic. So with the prior board, who created the moratorium that we have now, we had a lot with the stub. I can see how that would have been grandfathered. I guess I'm just trying to understand how does that translate into an approval for a third lot.
It doesn't, but they had an understanding with the previous board on the second and third lot.
Okay.
So it was never carried out, cause that was in transition of when the
Yeah.
board left, and then when I came on as interim.
And what
Okay.
happened,
Robin,
Oh,
what
sorry.
happened was the first lot was already approved.
Yeah.
When they wrote the letter for the second and third lot to be approved, they gave the description of the first lot and the second lot, but the first lot was already approved, so the letter doesn't say we're approving the second and third lot, although that was their intent.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I got the language from the board and they messed
Got it.
up the
right,
description of the property.
so it was,
Very well said.
right.
Okay.
I
No,
couldn't
thank you.
have said it any
That,
better.
Well, Robin,
thank you.
did
After
all
our
the-
90 discussions, I've got it now.
Yeah,
Very
So
well
it was-
said.
it was
Thank you.
messy to say the least, so we're asking, so
Yeah.
this is literally the last
Okay.
of
But-
the leftover projects.
Yep.
Yeah.
that
But I did have approval.
So-
I did have approval. And,
Oh no, no.
yeah.
And I'm not. To be
Yeah.
clear, I'm not questioning
Yeah,
that at all.
okay.
And I'm not trying to relitigate this. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to
Right.
so we have our own peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we've
So-
talked about this where we were under the moratorium, but there was projects granted under that moratorium by the previous board.
And because they were all approved separately, they all came below the 440 gallons. Except for actually the duplex was two bedrooms, so
Mhm.
so they were all under the moratorium and they were all approved separately, and that's how they were.
And
If
this
it was
is
approved
literally,
together, it would have been
yeah.
over.
this is literally the last of the projects approved.
So after this, you're not giving any more sewer
We
permits?
haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah. Broadly speaking, again, policy speaking, not. About your project.
Yeah,
In my view, this is an issue. This is a problem with the moratorium in the first place. Why in the world do we have a moratorium? If it's gonna be, if the prior board wanted a moratorium, they should have had a moratorium. But what we continue to find out is we have a moratorium. Pun intended, with a lot of holes in it.
Correct.
and again, like this had nothing to do with
Yeah.
like your projects at all.
There was quite a
It
few,
just-
there was quite a few other ones approved too.
Wholeheartedly agree. Like that's,
We know.
Yeah,
I mean, like, and that's why we're honestly that's what we're trying to grapple with
Yeah.
now.
yeah,
You know, like this whole thing is affecting growth. It's affecting revenue. It's affecting a lot of things.
yeah,
But like it seems like we have we have 1 foot in a moratorium in some cases
Right.
and another foot out,
Right.
and that's what, and broadly speaking, that's really what we're
yeah,
trying to grapple with.
yeah, well,
So-
they're having the same problem with the water too.
Yeah.
They got,
So,
it took me 2 years to get approved from the water,
we're not water, so
I
let's
know.
focus on sewer.
I know.
But again, no, I hear you.
Yeah,
Like I hear you completely, Dave. Like so, like in your recommendation, what type of clouding emotion would you like to have
On this.
on this?
This would be I guess we would call this a reapproval or a cleanup approval of the third lot that was tentatively approved by the previous board.
Like on that, do we have any type of map or lot number so we
Yeah.
can specify that
Yeah.
at all?
yeah, I gave it,
I have it.
Okay.
it's got the,
Oh yeah, lot.
Lot
yeah,
Three,
it's
40
lot three,
acres,
but,
okay.
that was before I got the house numbers.
Okay.
You'll have to go to the boards and get the the legal address and everything.
I already
Yeah,
did,
that's- okay.
Okay. What is the legal address, Jim?
it's 40 Cary Street.
Okay.
It's
Is
yeah.
that correct?
Yeah. So
Robin?
40.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
40 Cary Street, it was 40, 44, 46,
Is
and
it
then, and 48, which it was originally 48.
Alright, so this is
Okay.
Lot 3,
Well, 2 and 3.
40 Cary Street.
So, can I just say something, if you do approve it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we should be issuing any permits until he sells that one,
Right,
pays
which I
off the
said.
last one, otherwise it's gonna be too crazy
We
for
would
me
need
to
to
keep
close
track.
out this second lot, the duplex lot, before the third lot.
Well,
Okay.
So
well,
you could give a pre-approval based on, once you meet all your obligations.
but
on
the
this.
thing is, that's gonna
second.
put a little bit of burden on me, if I have to, I'm okay on the second lot, but if I have to pay the 32,000 or whatever it is before I get a permit on it, that's gonna put a big burden on me.
That would be how you have to do it.
You won't wait until I put it in?
I would think you would have to clean up the second lot,
Which I'll be doing next month, hopefully.
then you could get finalize the third lot. That's how we do it on every
Well,
development.
Yeah, so I'll finalize the third lot, but what about, paying the fee?
You would have to, we'd want you to finish the second lot,
Yeah,
and then you can come in for the third lot once you're closed out on the second lot.
what do you mean, come in?
For the fees and everything to get approval.
Oh, I thought you were gonna give that to me
I
tonight.
mean,
You, I'm pretty, technically,
I don't
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
fees
based on what
printed
I'm
out.
you could
hearing.
give approval, but you would have to, your fees, you'd have to
Yeah, based
your
on what I'm
fees are
hearing, like, and I just
paid before he starts the lot.
yeah, but we can come up with the fees.
yeah, but like if all we're talking about like is really like a month or a few weeks time, is it easy to keep it cleaner to have you just back here in a few weeks and that way we'll know where we are with the second lot, and then we'll have that cloudy and then we can move forward with the third lot. I just honestly hearing all this, I just think that might be cleaner that way.
You know though, I just want something that says it's gonna be approved.
Well, you could
Yeah.
I need
vote
something.
to just
Okay.
give him a
Preliminary approval.
Yeah.
Subject to me paying off the second one.
subject to him paying off the second.
Yeah,
one.
like subject to satisfying
The fees.
all
schedule.
applicable fees.
Right.
Yeah, like that way for
But
financing, whatever you
But
need.
that doesn't really answer the whole thing, because
What?
what about the fees on lot 3?
You would have to, before you,
Because you've already given me the amount.
right, you'll have to pay that once you have the
Everything
approval.
with two.
Once I have the approval.
Are you asking to be able to start lot 3 before
Without
you
the
pay any
fees?
of the fees on lot 3?
Yeah, but not put the pipe in, I'll pay the fee when I put the pipe in. You know what I mean?
They usually have to,
But-
so once they,
When I install the pipe, before I install the pipe from the street to the house, I will pay that fee.
Okay, so we can't issue the permit until you pay the
You pay the
fees when you're
fees.
ready to put the
Right,
pipe
but I
in.
just want something on paper saying it's approved, subject to,
So you can start the building
yeah,
process.
you can do
yeah.
that.
yeah. That's-
Subject to doing the sewer lateral work
Yeah,
to
So-
the house, he would have to pay the fees.
yeah,
Mhm.
subject to doing the sewer into the house,
Right.
that's fair.
Okay.
We're talking.
How you know, so, but you have that pre-approval in hand, and I
That's
get
right.
what that matters.
So saying
Yeah.
that it will be allowed to build
Yep.
and hook up to the sewer.
Okay.
And we could put that in the verbiage of, you know, into the minutes, that the second lot has to be paid for, all the obligations there, the financial obligations.
Yeah,
And then the third lot, the fees will be paid before any sewer work starts to the third lot, lot 3.
that's fair.
Okay.
Does that make sense administrative wise, Robin?
Yep,
But you will sign off on the building permit.
We can, because we
Yeah.
can put it on
But we
permanent.
won't put the sewer
pending
in,
that.
but we won't put the sewer in until I pay the fee.
Right, but we'll put it, we can add that on permanentized that we
As a
would,
condition.
Yeah.
pending,
Yeah,
which we have, control over, so, on that.
yeah. I think that's all fair. You know, lot 2, I should be paying you within a few weeks.
it sounds fair, Jim, but just for the record, it's a
Yeah.
lot of paperwork to have people hanging around with outstanding fees to keep track of while projects are happening.
Yeah,
So it's really, they're doing you a
A huge
favor,
yeah.
which we don't usually extend to developers, just so you know.
Okay. Noted,
Thank you. I just wanted for the record.
yeah,
And it's in lieu of the mess that we
Yeah,
we inherited.
yeah.
this, as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned,
that's one by
tonight this ends
one.
it.
I mean,
Yes.
just
This ends the problem.
It's
Because
the
we
way
went
it
through a
is.
lot.
I know.
yeah.
Right.
I
But this
mean,
is,
talk
like I
about
said,
anyone.
this is the last of the leftover projects, so.
Yep.
And we can clean it up.
We've been going back and forth on this for like 3 or 4 years.
We're looking for preliminary approval, subject to satisfactory of all the application fees prior to lot 3 being issued.
No,
Say
no.
that again.
I have to pay on lot 2 before lot 3
Oh,
gets.
that's right.
All financial obligations on lot 2 have to be paid
Right,
forward before,
You can do anything on lot 3.
that's fine,
as far as sewer.
that's fine.
And those fees on lot 3 have to be,
Yep.
prepaid before sewer work starts.
Correct, that sounds good. I can still do the
Okay.
I can still put the foundation in and all that. But
Yes.
it has to be paid before it's run in.
Correct.
Yeah, and those are the, yeah, so those two, so the motion would be pre-approval,
Yeah,
subject to the conditions that Dave just outlined.
yes, yeah, that's fair.
So it has to be to make a motion for pre-approval, subject to the certificate, the outline that David had for fees.
Yes.
But,
Oh, like in the
might as well,
sequencing,
you know what the fee is now though, right? So we can figure that out now. Cause Robin had told me 24 and then you told me 32 and I said, I don't wanna argue about it, I just want the approval.
It was the higher amount, and
It was
a
a higher amount because-
It was 32,000.
Okay.
That's what you told me.
Right,
Which-
we'll get that over to you, Jim,
Yeah,
once we
is
get
that
close.
yeah, like I'm like, and honestly, like I really don't really think it's been here the prerogative of the board really to like get in the granular with regards to fees. You know, like I mean,
Right.
that's been an administrative function here. You know, like all that really matters to us is the process and the sequencing.
Yeah.
Robin, could you read the
Well,
final?
I just don't want any surprises.
I
Hold on,
can
Jim.
tell you
Robin, could you read the final fee
The-
on that?
the final
32?
fee is $32,144 and 30 cents.
32, 144
And 30 cents.
and 30 cents. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna.
That's with the
I'm not
current
gonna. I'm not gonna argue about that. It's-
engineering fees that we've implemented on.
I'll just throw it on the
project.
throw it on the end of the price.
And so there's been a motion made. I'll sit down in second. All those in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
That's it, Jim.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So
I'll put the letter together tomorrow and I'll send it to the sewer
Okay.
commission for you, okay?
yeah, you can you email a copy of it to me too.
Yeah,
JF Wheeler, the number 9 at Comcast.net.
okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Alright, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Jim.
Have a good night.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, superintendent update.
Alright, I'll try to be short and sweet. Like I said, that was the last of the development projects that we had that were left over, so everything will be a little cleaner moving forward. Plant repairs, I'm gonna just touch base on it, but I'm also gonna let David kinda add more of the technical elements to it. What we've, since Dave's been here, what we've worked on is Dave came up with a capital improvement plan for smaller, well, not really small, but smaller as compared to the overall phase 1 upgrade, where we wanted to tie in some of the elements that are failing at the plant and also at some of the pump stations where we've been talking about. But I'll let Dave talk more about those plant repairs. But we, there were some big items on that, and, I'll talk a little bit about that, as the upcoming meetings as well. But it's very important that we didn't let these, and I know I've touched base on this before, that we let these items fall off, because we'd be chasing it. I mean, some of these items are going to be, we're looking for a 10-year, lifespan on these before we get to them in the next phase. 10 to 12 years, I think we've talked about, Dave. And some of them will be, permanent fixes where we're, upgrading some elements. But I'll let Dave talk about that when we get to his point. New article request, I just wanted to add, because there was an item on that with the belt filter press, which needs to be, we reallocated an older article to help with the brains or computer system related to the belt filter press. But also there are some other elements of that are failing now, where we had in I think it was year 2, Dave, right? Correct? Which was year 2 that we moved forward.
Okay.
So I did go to capital planning and finance and ask for an additional $300,000 to be allocated to that, so we could start that that larger project, which I think we were talking about. It's going to be a little over $300,000. But it is something, if it goes down, it's going to be very expensive for us to try to even run that temporarily.
Yeah.
So this is an item that we need to get done.
Yep.
And need to get done fairly quick with due diligence.
Okay.
The third item would be retained earnings. So retained earnings was certified by the state, which we just got the certification. It was $3,357,842. What we'd like to do is, why I have that in parentheses, enterprise and stabilization, is we would like to take $1 million of that and put it into the stabilization account. What I would suggest, is talking with finance, is I would suggest we take 500,000 of that and put it in a high yield account to get a high yield interest rate that we could accrue, and then take 500,000 of it and put it in a lower rate. And then if we happen to get into a project where we need to
take the money out.
take the money out, we could still do that. But we'd also as opposed to those retained earnings just sitting in an account and not accruing any interest whatsoever, we're not really doing our due diligence at that point.
I wholeheartedly agree like with segregating those funds.
Mm-hmm.
So in number one, we're not basically like carrying them over in an unallocated balance,
Mm-hmm.
but also like we're being smart with it and capitalizing on the interest available. In terms of a quote unquote a stabilization account,
Mm-hmm.
based on our early discussion, we'd have to, I believe, have that account approved by town meeting.
Correct.
But I believe also when you create one and have town meeting approval to create one, in order to spend from it, like in the future, we need to have town meeting approval as well.
That's correct.
So, in the stabilization account that we're envisioning, one the high yield, the high yield.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the other one that, in the other fund that has a little more liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
Would we be only talking about the stabilization account with $500,000 in it, or $1 million?
You'd have $1 million. So what I would suggest is you
Yeah.
split that, and you take half of it.
You
put
come
it
to
in
where
a
it's
higher
invested
yield account.
once it's in there.
Right.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
the other half.
I got it,
In
okay.
you'd be at a 3% to 4%, whatever the current rate is.
Yep.
But we could be a little bit more progressive and
Okay.
go into a higher yield, which you wouldn't be able to pull out right away. So
Yep.
you're essentially taking
Locking it up.
$500,000. You're locking it up for a while.
Yep.
To accrue at a higher rate.
Yes. And then if needed, the other, once we lock up the first $500,000, it's extremely untouchable, practically speaking.
For a while. I mean, if you
General
had to,
terms,
you
yes.
can still access it.
Yeah, but then we probably have penalties.
But it's a
and
year
other
away.
things. But for the second $500,000 that would have more liquidity, we would still need town meeting approval to even go back and touch that
That's correct.
if we had the need. I just wanted to.
And we're looking at it as a financial
Yep.
plan down the road
Oh,
because
yes.
we're essentially gonna take 600 and use them for our articles this year.
Yep.
A little under that. And then,
So that's 1.6 out of the 3.3.
right, so
Yep.
you're still gonna have,
A pretty good retained
1.7.
balance. Yep.
right, which we have no intent to draw down from that, if we have to start paying any of the bond rates down at this point.
Okay.
We're months away from any major drawdowns. Drawdowns
Yep,
being
yep.
on anything we're paying interest on the bonds that we would be coming up.
Okay.
Like that 12 million,
Yep.
the 22.5 essentially for the plan upgrade. That's at the end of the year. And
Yeah,
then-
that's essentially. We were good. At least probably 10 months away from that. Correct.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and what have we typically carried as? What typically have we carried in terms of a trend for retained earnings?
Well,
And
honestly, when did we start really building this up? 3 years ago?
Right, and I think we had numbers from last year and this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is essentially like a 2.5 year
Okay.
span essentially. Because-
Yeah, that we built up for the cash flow
Right.
based on the rate analysis.
Correct.
Okay, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't that long ago we were
Oh yeah. We were
in tough
okay.
shape.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
gone.
my gosh, yeah, the year that we implemented the basic user
Yeah.
rate,
So that's 6
So we-
years ago? 7 now maybe?
no,
6?
I was gonna say 4.
4.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Is that when Biz was here and went to
Yes.
the sewer commission?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, okay.
And then Robin came up with the other fee for the
The basic
basic
user
Yeah,
rate.
user
okay.
fee. Yeah.
Okay.
Biz
Which helped
presented
us. That built up, I think, a little
That
over
first
200.
year, it came up with $236,000, which got us out of the red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since
By
then,
the end
it's
of the
been
year.
a positive trend.
So this whole retained earnings thing is actually pretty new.
Fairly new,
Yeah,
yeah. For
Thanks
us
to
to-
your efforts and,
Yeah.
okay.
For us to get to
and biz, yeah.
Yeah,
close to 3.5
Okay.
million.
And the
Okay.
fact the fact that we can invest $1 million is actually a good thing.
Can
It
I
is,
Can I ask a question, because I can't remember, but I think we already did vote for a stabilization
We
fund.
did.
Okay,
that's already
we
approved.
just never
You
funded
remember
it.
we did the
The
enterprise.
first year we didn't,
Right.
then we did, okay.
They didn't vote the stabilization in, or you could have started a small percentage. But this will be the first time you put any amount in a stabilization.
Yeah.
And I did go to Scott, and we
Mhm.
did talk to the financial team, and they think they do think it's a good idea to start moving with that, especially with no intended drawdowns this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and keep in mind too, the rates, and then we'll actually add to that retained earnings next year as well.
Hopefully
Now we'll lead us
hopefully
in-
we'll be in a position where we can invest another.
Yeah, you wanna, at some point, you'd wanna come up with a percentage every year
They
that
have
you
a
want
financial
to.
policy that
Right.
says
Right,
that.
that
Yep.
makes sense. I mean, again, the rainy day fund, I mean, projects.
Yeah,
Right,
however, like, I also think it's extremely important to know, you know, like, we have very positive retained earnings this year. And we probably have, it sounds like, for the last year as well.
Mhm.
But these retained earnings were also part of a required cash flow plan to fund, you know, the phase one and other parts of the project that we anticipated to begin earlier. So like, I mean, like, we're all aware, myself included, about how our rates have continued to increase.
right,
And like I get, like, optically, like, it could look like, you know, like, our rates have been jacking up.
Mhm.
You know, like, and there's definitely been an impact. But very optically there could be a perception that us even talking about this, that, you know, we've jacked up rates in order to put money in the bank. That's really not happening here. Where, you know, the rates have increased because we're planning on, like, at least a $35 million project to take place,
Correct.
and this is all part of the planning for that.
for phase one.
Yeah, for phase one.
Don't
Yeah, for
forget,
phase one.
there's other phases to
No,
this.
I agree.
So this is what we need to start, not to
Yeah,
mention these,
yep.
like we're talking about smaller capital planning projects. Smaller being, I mean, we're gonna spend 600,000 to 700,000
Yep.
on these projects. That's not, you know, it's small compared to,
The 30 million.
right. So.
But if we didn't have that rate
That's
structure
correct. You don't
and
have
our
the money
base
to fund it.
rates,
Yep.
You don't.
that would be out of the water.
Right,
Correct.
we
Yeah.
don't. So this has all been configured way back to the
Yep.
original rate study that we did. Which
Oh.
brings us to the next item,
Yep.
which is user rates.
Yep.
So it is suggested that we keep that at 13%. Based on our actual retained earnings versus anticipated earnings from previous rate study, which is showing us a shortfall of about 430,000. That's taken in what we'll be paying for interest on the upcoming bonds. That's
Mhm.
also taken into a $500,000 to $750,000 capital projects at the plant, and also some of the I&I work. So it's taken in everything
Yeah.
into that. So Weston and Sampson is suggesting that we keep that at 13% to make up for that $430,000 shortfall. And this should even us out until we get the next rate
Updated
study
analysis, okay.
updated and moving forward, where we know we have to take in all those other variables.
So the 13% increase would be, just to be clear, that would be for FY27, the next fiscal year, beginning in July.
Correct.
Correct.
Can I tell you the math on that? The current rate is $10.14 per 100 cubic feet, and it would go up to $11.46. So it's $1.32 per 100 cubic feet.
And obviously, no one wants to do that because it is a burden, but it is also something that we're playing catch up on for
Yeah,
years and years.
none of this is ideal, but
Right.
again, we've inherited this after years
Right.
of inaction, and now we, thankfully, have an ability as to decide. Like, I mean, we're mandated to do something. Number one, but yeah, there's also the collaboration. We need to do something, and yeah, like we're biting the bullet and doing it, and it's hard for everybody trying to absorb all these things, but yeah, we don't have a choice. We literally don't have a choice, and hopefully, just like in my view, like it's not, yeah, like it, yeah, the two items aren't also mutually exclusive, but as we, but as we hopefully continue to have a broader discussion about where we are with the moratorium, we're going to have more revenue. The town will have additional revenue to help the tax base, to help with fees and revenues as well, which hopefully help our bottom line and as well. But
Yeah, it's planning for the future.
Yeah.
Is what it's doing.
Yep.
So, the last item is essentially.
do you want to vote on the 13%
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
at this point?
I make a
that would make
motion.
sense.
I will make a motion for the upcoming fiscal year 2027 rate increase of 13%.
Hearing that, I will step down in a second. There's a motion for the FY27 rate increase of 13%. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And lastly, the two last items on the miscellaneous. So we haven't heard back from the EPA in regards to the AO submittal, the last one, on the alternate discharge report. And also on that, with the moratorium, we are encompassing some ADU submittals at this point, which I know we've been
Mm-hmm.
kind of kicking around. So this would be considered new development. We're tightening up what we think should be fees on that. So essentially, if you're looking at a detached ADU,
Mm-hmm.
you'd almost have to treat it as a new development.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can be used for what I understand as a rental property at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and depending on the change of ownership down in the future. So if with the board's approval or recommendation, we would like to come forth with a fee schedule to accommodate that. Because our fee schedules essentially would be exorbitant if you'd be looking at an ADU, and maybe it's not something what we would treat as residential, but and then we'd have to probably keep all our residential rates at the same point. That's what we've been talking about. I think what were we talking about? We were talking about maybe making it a true 4-to-1 ratio, which will come back at the next meeting, but we're gonna have people coming in for ADUs.
So, yeah, what we were thinking about is our current ratio is 11-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
The state minimum is 4-to-1.
Right.
And because it's an ADU residential,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about using a 4-to-1 ratio.
It is still gonna be something we're going to have a discussion with EPA, which brings up
Right.
the other point.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to reach out to the EPA, which we haven't done. We've been waiting for the EPA in regards to the discharge submittal on the AO. So I'd like to ask the board, maybe if they could make a motion, that we could have town council reach out to the EPA and have a sit down where we are with everything, with the moratorium,
Mm-hmm.
and have a discussion. I would also recommend how we set it up before. There was, we had Doug Lapp involved for
Mm-hmm.
town representation. A board member would have to be involved, a member of the town council,
Mm-hmm.
which last time it was Chris Kenny.
Yep.
And then, also, superintendent. And at that point, if we had Hillary, there would be,
Yep.
Hillary
Yep.
would be there as well, so we could get Hillary caught up at that point too. The new superintendent.
Can I outline the fee?
Yeah.
So the development fee is $8,000 per unit. The I ratio, which is typically 11:1, would be 4:1 based on our current price per gallon, which is $6.61, which whenever we revisit that could change, but the ratio wouldn't, just the price of the per gallon to remediate it. And then we have a permit fee, which has been the same for quite a while, and that's $150.
So the big change would be what we've been charging is 11:1, which was part of the agreement with the regulatory bodies, with the AO. So we would have to go and present the 4:1, or else obviously it would be a huge burden.
Yeah, it
On
kind of
people adding
tempers
maybe,
that $8,000 development fee, but if we have to treat them the same as everybody else, the development fee is $8,000.
Right.
But using the 4:1 ratio, we'd still be charging them the same per gallon price, but it could kind of
Offset
offset
it.
the pain of that development fee.
So we might have to change it with the development fee, so.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, in practically, like, speaking, like, we can really, like, talk about the implementation and the applicability and all this, but, like, until we hear some type of feedback from the EPA,
Right.
you know, like, we're going back to where we were last month about this hypothetical where we are with Jingleville. You know, like, we could talk about, like, so I think
Agreed.
to today's point, that's why I think, you know, like, requesting a meeting with the EPA, to letting them know we continue to be proactive and, you know, really want, ideally have their buy-in on, you know, how we're continuing to move forward. Like, I think it's imperative, I think it's responsible. So, like, I think it makes perfect sense.
No, I agree. We have to figure out where we're at before we can go anywhere else.
So,
So is that something you guys could make a motion on that we reach out to town council on setting that up?
I would make a motion for us to reach out to town council to help set up a meeting with the EPA to find out where we're at.
I will step down and second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Dave.
The last item we have is 320 Concord Street.
Oh, yeah,
That was,
is there work being done there? Yeah?
the developer just reached out.
Okay.
That is one of the other
Oh, yeah.
developments that was approved by the previous board. That is where that gentleman, where the house came down and the town sold the property and now it's four separate 40B units.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was on the last time that was. The only thing I did for technical advising on that is they had to do a grinder pump, an on-site grinder system for those 4 units. And it's tied into a shared manhole where the neighbor to the right is tied into,
Okay.
and also this. So the inverts will have to be reconfigured there, you know, with the tie-in for the grinder pump. But with multiple units back then, it was a requirement at that point, especially where that's tying into a 30-inch coming into our, right directly to the plant. So that's why it was implemented that we do a grinder there. So we're not dealing with any rags or any larger solids at that point. So that gentleman will be starting that project. So I just wanted to let the board know about that. And then Shingle Mill is requesting to come in, and obviously I did tell them that was a presentation only at that point, unless the board advises otherwise. Well, we could still go with that, and that would be, you could either do another meeting in March, or you could do that in April. I will leave that up to the board.
Before we move on to that, we don't have any fees paid from 320 Concord.
We don't.
He's planning on coming down here now?
He needs to know the fees.
Okay,
Yep. He reached out today, and I said we would get that together.
okay, thank you.
Those fees have already been approved in terms of dollars?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in terms of where we go in meetings, like I'm also just mindful that we're a 3-member board. We do have an election coming up in a month.
Mhm.
You know, like I know we didn't have a meeting in yeah, we didn't have a meeting in February, right?
This basically is for.
I'm sorry, all these months are blending together. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, my point is that if because we didn't have a regular February meeting, like if there's like additional business we can do in March, just regular business having a meeting at the end of the month, but maybe just based on the calendar and timing at this point, like and based on really based also on exactly what the shingle mill is. Like maybe like at this point we do wait for after the election to happen.
Mhm.
So we have
Makes sense.
we have an updated full board. That will be here at least for the next year. Just really based on what the magnitude of shingle mill.
And we may even have a sit down with EPA at that point too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we may have more answers than we.
At that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not trying to prolong how long we're making shingle mill wait, but like I think based on what it is, just having everyone up to speed that's gonna be here for a while.
For the year,
Yeah,
exactly.
for the-
And again, hopefully we'll have the answer from EPA at that point
Mm-hmm.
of what our options could be.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah.
Who's having the meeting
Who's
with
having?
EPA?
That would be the same people before. It would be Doug. It would be a representative from the board. Somebody from town council. Chris Kenny was there before. I think Bob Galvin was there before.
As
too.
land use council, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And then myself, and at that point, probably Hillary,
Right.
the new superintendent.
Cause she's coming in on March 30th, right?
Yeah,
What
In
commissioner?
all
right,
reality, it
yeah.
would be, we wouldn't have that meeting
Yeah.
before then.
Which commissioner is gonna sit
That
in
would be
on that?
something the board would have to decide.
Do you have a preference?
I'll if you want, I'll go to that, or you can go, it's up to you, doesn't matter to me,
Yeah, if you want, that's fine.
I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I feel like the question queen tonight.
No, that's fine.
Somebody's gotta keep us in line.
No, I like it. Okay. So that is that. Based on all that, based on everything happening, do you anticipate a need for like a late March meeting? You don't. At this
No, I
point.
think it makes sense to take that and move it to April, and then
Okay.
you would have a full board by then,
Okay.
or a newer board.
Yep.
You know, because
Yep.
I know Walters, was kind enough to stay on for that.
Yeah, that's
for that
he's
year.
been incredible.
So
Like on that, just actually before before we get to the VLE update, I just want to like update us, and especially the public on where we are with the IUP, like in the information that we.
yeah, I know we talked
that
about
came
that.
out.
So we did get sorry, this friggin' snow's killing me. The DEP did reach out to us in regards to the SRF funding, so we did make the IUP, the intended use plan list, which is good, and it was for the full amount,
That's
which some of the towns and cities did not receive, but we did get the full amount. So, which is a little over $32 million.
Dave. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like Robin. Thank you. Thank DPC. We were scrambling in the fall, trying to make this all work, and with the timing aspects, with the design aspects, and to know, that we're here right now. Going back to the discussion we talked about cash flow earlier, with regards to phase one, this really ties everything together.
We were at
So,
60% of the design. We're at the comment stage. I know Dave's very well involved in that, and his Veolia staff. Myself, DPC. So we're in that right now. So our Wednesday meetings have been fairly uneventful because there's not a lot going on. cause everybody's reviewing the plans.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we'll have once everybody has their comment stage, we'll have an in-person meeting again. We foresee that we originally was scheduled for the end of March, but I know there's been a little back and forth on, comments with DPC, so
Okay.
it's either gonna be the end of March or the beginning of April, so could align up with a lot of other things.
Yep.
That's essentially it. I'll have an update, a more rigorous update on Weston and Sampson on the rehabilitation
Okay.
project with the INI, cause a lot of that's gonna hit late spring, early fall. Obviously, with all this snow melt, is a great time to be doing some metering coming up in the late spring, where we could get some good values for our money. So, yeah, so we're moving in the right direction.
Thank you again.
Yep.
Alrighty, sorry to
Yeah.
keep you waiting.
No problem. You wouldn't mind passing one of those down, Robin? Pass one of
Thank
those to
Of course,
David.
thank you.
So I'm happy to announce the plant is in 100% compliance, as well as our monthly NIPD's submittal. We also submitted the annual biosolids report, so that's been submitted to EPA. Also posted our OSHA 300 and no injuries in 2025. Back in January, we did a total of 64.6 million gallons, and that equates to about 2.08 million gallons per day. So our flows are under control, and we did a little less than 4 inches of rain. As far as biosolids, we did remove 128 wet tons from the facility. As far as for staffing, we're still looking for a full-time project leader. We did find a great candidate. We extended an offer, and he actually did decline that offer. So we're looking into 2 additional candidates. So we'll be interviewing them. The O&M position, the O&M tech, that was filled. Actually started back on February 23rd, which was the day of the blizzard, and he passed the test, showed up for work on that day. So yeah, he was there at 4 a.m. for his 7 o'clock shift. So yeah, and he's been working out great. And we're still looking for a maintenance tech. Same thing, we extended an offer, he declined our offer, and new to me was we had these interviews scheduled and people aren't showing up. So I don't know why they're going through the pre-screening process, scheduling the interview, and then not showing up for it. So we're going to play the trick of reposting the job. So now we'll go to the top of the job board and see if we can get some additional people in here. Like Dave touched upon, I've been getting used to the plant and walking the facility and trying to, do a well-balanced attack on some of the deficiencies. We started with the Forest Street pump station, and we upgraded all the controls there, and it's completed, just not finished. So they're coming back out on Friday just to tweak a couple things that improvements they can make, and then we'll train the whole staff on it. And Forest Street will be a state-of-the-art pumping station, and then we'll look at the next one. As far as the primary sludge pumps, that was one deficiency I found. It's not as easy as I thought because none of the valves are actually holding. So what we did was we called the Holdley and Sons, and they actually installed a valve across the street on a live pipe. It was exciting, and it was successful. So we could finally stop the flow to the pumps so they can be repaired. So I'm working on scheduling that, and hopefully we can get that done. The other thing is the grit chamber. It's a whole lot of stainless steel piping, the delivery of the piping has been delayed, but as soon as that, we can get that system back up and running. Right now it's not running, and that captures the inorganic material when it comes into the plant. So we'll make some improvements there. The dechlorinated water, so the water leaving the plant is great, but the last line of defense is we need to remove that chlorine before we send it out to the stream. So we're putting in an analyzer down there that will actually measure the lack of chlorine, which is very good, and send alarming back up to the plant. So I did follow up on that, and that was shipped on last Friday. So we should be able to get that in and installed rather quickly. We do have there's a small roof leak. We have that scheduled, but we can't fix the roof until the snow melts. So he promises me we're one of the first jobs on his schedule when the snow on the roof melts off, and we can get that fixed. And then they did talk about the belt filter press. Typically at a wastewater plant, you know, you have redundancy. You have two pieces of equipment, and when it comes to the belt filter press, we only have one. So so we need to show that equipment a little bit of love, and you know, it's called the PLC, or the logic controller. Dave likes to call it the brains. That is original to the piece of equipment. So that's the first thing that we're going to go after and replace. We found a vendor that actually can actually work with that PLC. We're going to actually do a replacement due to its age, and we're just getting them set up in the system, and then we can get that done. As far as completed projects, I found out that the underground storage tanks, we're going to continue to use them in the future. So we actually had all the fuel removed, cleaned out the tanks, and then we put some fresh fuel in there. So got rid of some of that sediment that was in the bottom of those tanks. So we have nice new fuel tanks. We had to replace the water meter at Woodbury due to it freezing, and all of the pump stations do communicate through cellular signal. So we did have to replace one of those cellular modems. So we've got communication all back with all of our stations again. So overall, it's been a successful month, and we'll keep at it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Any questions, Matt, Dave,
Nope.
Robin?
I do not, thank you.
So, yeah, with that, we get to like our upcoming meetings again. First of all, yeah, before we talk about like our April meetings, I just really want to take a moment to thank again Walter Simmons. Yeah, like when the three of us stepped up last year, that included him, and he had a lot of background. He had a lot of background, institutional knowledge from his prior time as a commissioner, and he brought a lot over the last year and a half, in the many years before that. So I just really want to take a moment to thank Walter. He's been him and his family have always been incredible parts of our community, and I just really wanted to take a minute to acknowledge his service and him coming back to the bullpen and
Taking one for the team.
taking one for the team again. So thank you, Walter.
Good man. Thank you, Walter.
So with that, just if we're looking at just for everyone's planning ability, the last Monday in April, is that is that okay? Like, will we be okay if we go that long? Do you think?
You can go up to 8 weeks.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, that's exactly 8 weeks.
Yep. What's that date, Robin?
April
27.
27th.
Okay.
That'll give Hillary a minute to
Breathing room,
get
yeah.
acclimated.
Yeah.
Agreed. Full disclosure, my daughter's pregnant, so she might be due right about that time, so I'll be tentative.
Okay.
Her due date's the 28th.
Yeah, you don't really add a lot of value anyway, so.
I agree.
Just kidding.
I agree. I gotta make sure I get her mom down there to make sure everything's right. That's all I have to do.
It's a tough one.
Just kidding. Oh god, we're fun. There's no team like that one, really.
Exactly.
Pretty good. Alright, with that I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a
The
motion
time
to
is
adjourn.
now 7:45. I'll sit down second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. I was only joking, by the way.
No,